probably not a fit. Probably not. The what do you do and the what do they do, probably a big point of contention here. If they're an Air Force pilot and you work for an anti-military lobbying firm and your job is to convince the government to make budget cuts, might not work out. Might not. Could, but it might not. So this is an acute opposites attract situation. This is that my job is actively against your job. Doesn't work out sometimes. Doesn't work out a lot of times. If you're they are the morning traffic person on the 4 a.m. newscast and have to go to bed at 6:30 because they wake up at 2 a.m., which happens, and you work till not even late. Let's just say you work till 7 p.m. every day. So their bedtime is 6:30 and your clocking out time is 7. It's a bit of a challenge to find the time to get to know each other. Can it work? Of course. Are there plenty of morning news people in happy relationships? Of course. A lot of times is it people they work with? Of course. But it doesn't mean the what do you do and when do you do it and why do you do it and where do you do it and how do you do it and all the questions that we've raised here aren't relevant, because they are. Anything is a possibility, but sometimes you got to play the numbers game. And the numbers game is always about probability, So you got to think about it. You got to think about, is what they spend most of their waking time doing, which for almost everybody says they want to date somebody with a job, not just for the money, but just so they have something that, takes up a chunk of their time and hopefully they're engaged in and passionate about. Well, there you go. Half of your partner's waking time is going to be devoted to something that you're going to have to consider how that something impacts your life. Same thing with whatever it is you do when they ask you that question and you ask that question of yourself. Is what do I do and how do I spend those 35 to 100 hours a week, and the emotional interaction with my colleagues and the stress from my boss and the money I take home and the possibility of relocation, losing my job, getting a promotion, all of these things, how do they factor into your potential relationship, the possibility of finding a partner, or even the current relationship that you're in? Because lots of people in relationships or marriage or long-term situations suddenly have career changes, suddenly have job changes, suddenly move up or down a level at their workplace, may even have a new boss. All kinds of things can factor into that relationship. So what do you do is extremely relevant question, and it is in no way offensive to be asked. And when you are asked that, boys and girls, don't be offended by it, because it matters. It doesn't define who you are, but it does define a pretty significant portion of your life and your existence and the possibility of something that may or may not work out. So we've got to stop pretending that that is not an okay thing to ask or you're offended by it. We have to understand the reasons. If somebody's asking you what you do, or you want to ask what you do strictly because you want to assess the bank account, that's probably not going to work out anyway, But you have to figure out the right reasons to ask the right question. That is the right question. Those are the right reasons. And the more you do these kind of things, is ask the right questions in the right way, at the right time, for the right reasons, may the odds be ever in your favor. Great love, listeners. So a little shorter one today because I was thinking about it and I wanted to get it out there because it comes up a lot that people do ask the question, and some people don't like the question and they don't like it online and they don't like on their dating profile, and somebody throw that out at the first question they ask. So what do you do? And a lot of times that really is a lazy way to ask a real question. And the real question is, how do you spend your time, and how does that portion of your time trickle down into your possible love life? So, as I said, a little shorter one today, but hey, I'm busy because I have work to do, because there's no days off at the GLD. We never stop making love, as you know. No Sunday fun days for us. So check out our live tour schedule. Hopefully There's more dates on there, which I think there are because the venues are starting to wake up and be open and email us and call us and say, when are you coming back? And when is the Great Love Debate live shows perking up again? So we do have some schedule. We will have some more schedule. And as I said on prior podcasts, we're absolutely going to make up the ones that got postponed because of the troubles of 2020. Shoot us an email, greatlovedebate@gmail.com. Let us know if something, happened like that. If you asked the question or if you got an answer that didn't quite fit in the way you wanted it to, or if maybe you thought it wouldn't and it actually worked out. Shoot us an email, greatlovedebate@gmail.com, because as always, as I said before, we never stop making love. See you next time.